Good evening, everybody. It's Peps, it's J-Dog, and more importantly, we have got a kaleidoscope of personalities joining us for the 2021 season review. If you thought the first three that we've done over the last 3 years have been chock-a-block full of absolute bullshit, this is going to top it off because we have got everybody from we've got everybody from the Lace Out community joining us to give their thoughts and predictions for 2021 moving into 2022. But like I've said many a times, for me, Chris Pepper, the 377-game superstar of the East Keeler Football Club, and also otherwise known as Dirk Diggler, I've got my roller girl, and you know who that is. That is the great man, Jamie the J-Dog Wallace, who is going to be our MC tonight. He's the master of ceremonies. He will be the ringmaster in more ways than one to take this rogues gallery of football lovers through our review of 2021. It is going to be an absolute corker of a night. Everybody who's live with us tonight, get on the chat. If you're listening to this on the podcast, whether it's Spotify, Apple, Google Podcast, through your smart speaker, hey, I know you're doing the dishes, fellas, to get some brownie points for the ladies. Give us a review on Facebook. Give us a review on iTunes because we are the single greatest non-AFL affiliated podcast this side of the Westgate Bridge. But J-Dog, mate, are you pumped for tonight? Because I know you've been nervous over the last couple of days thinking, how many people are we getting? How are we going to control this mob? And more importantly, what are they going to say?
Well, Peps, I don't know what the show is going to look like tonight, to be completely honest with you, because we've got 4 of our listeners, which take that from, and my math's not great, but we've probably got 1 live audience member tonight. So that's fantastic.
You're about right. So who's joining us tonight?
Well, before I even go down that, I think there's someone in our group chat here that should actually be part of this live show. Peps, did you forget to send a link to someone today?
Who? Donna J?
No, Nick.
Oh, no, Nick Cowling. I've sent it to Nick. Nick needs to click the link, and if he clicks the link, I'll invite him in. Goodness,
Nick,
this is going well so far.
And then do
Nick,
it. All right.
Click the link, join the group, okay?
All right, let's just go through who we got. So we have got a huge list of guest people. So it's going to be less probably Peps and I talking our usual shit, and we're going to leave it up to the supporters, to our fan base. Now we have got people from our very youngest listeners in terms of time with the Lace Out community to our OGs. We've got Phillits on tonight. We've got Josh Weymouth, who's been around forever. From day one has been one of our biggest supporters and out there pushing the brand. So that's been wonderful.
He's just doing it for his parole hours, mate. Let's be honest. He's not doing it out of choice.
Well, we go back a long way. But I'm not going to talk about me introducing everyone.
Oh,
I'm just going to go through, and I'm going to just go through one by one, and I'm going to call out a name, and I want them to tell us who they barrack for, and then how did they find us, and then basically that's the way of the show tonight. I'm going to take a step back and not talk and try and make sense of your complete and utter bullshit. And just leave it up to you guys to talk your bullshit and talk your chung to each other. Does that sound fair? We've got the rules. All right, very good. So first off, let's go. Josh Weymouth, can you please introduce yourself? Who do you barrack for, and how did you find the Lace Out podcast?
I'm a diehard Geelong supporter. Have been since birth. I didn't really get a choice in the matter. It's been a pretty good run the last probably 10 or so years, which has been good. So, look. Found the podcast through yourself, J-Dog. Been friends with you for a very, very long time. Put up with a lot of your shit and shit giving over the years, and thought I'd better support you in your venture here for the Lace Out. So, been with you from the start, and thoroughly enjoy the podcast.
Thanks, Waymo.
Oh,
all right,
that's love.
Charlie Keegan.
Yep.
Introduce yourself. Who do you barrack for? And tell us about the Lace Out, how you found us.
I barracked for Essendon, unfortunately, and I'm 27, so I've only seen 1 premiership.
How many
Let's not rub it in.
I've found Lace Out.
I've seen 3. Oh, my God. No, 4 in that time. You've seen 1, and you've only seen one of the finals win.
I've seen more than one finals win. Thank you very much.
Yeah,
We won a
but
final in 2001.
Just because
and-
you're on the planet at that particular time, mate, doesn't classify. You actually have to remember it.
Oh, classic. All right. So tell us, how'd you find Lace Out?
So I found Lace Out. I write a lot of, quite frankly, shit on the Raw, and Tom Roker promoted you guys, and so I gave a listen to the Gold Coast season preview podcast.
Yep.
And then went from there, and I like the sound of my own voice, so I figured I'd throw my.
Love it. I love it. Got some budding authors in here.
He actually said that. He goes, I like the sound of my own voice.
I love it.
I love it. I love it.
All right, we've also got another regular joining us on this live show tonight. We've got Nikki Teal from, well, actually, I'm not going to say where you're from. You can plug your own bloody podcast.
Well, you plug us enough anyway, so it's all good. Yeah, I'm Nick. I'm a huge Port Adelaide supporter. Been Port Adelaide all my life, even before we were in the AFL. My mum was actually a Norwood supporter, so I decided to go against her and become a Maggie supporter. And so, yeah, continued on to the AFL from there. How I found the Lace Out podcast was this year. Maddie was contacted by you boys to join us in the Port Adelaide preview, and we all had a blast. So, yeah, been sticking around since then and absolutely loving it. Been a part of it all since.
Can I just say, your introduction then was about 35 minutes shorter than what Maddie did for the preview podcast that we did at the start of the year. That went for like 30. He gave us his grandparents, his lineage back to Holland. Like, it just went forever.
Yeah, Maddie does have a tendency to.
I've got a lot of respect for Maddie. His father started up the.
No,
karate.
don't you start.
I actually know his father as well because I actually did karate in GKR as well. So yeah, boy.
Yeah. Mess with me off the field.
It's not kick out. It's called Lace Out, boys.
Oh.
That's the karate podcast later.
Jazz. Now we've already got. Well, someone's already has got an admirer of yours online already. Lee McKenzie has said someone's trying to imitate you. So, please tell us who you are, who you barrack for, and then how'd you find the show?
Okay, as you know, I'm an North Melbourne supporter, as the name says, Rude Boy. My real name is Jaron Chat. I'm half Greek, so my last name is Chatsademetrio. So
love it.
It's a long last name, yeah. And also how I found out this chat site, I just scrolling through the memes and all that sort of stuff, and I've seen it through. I don't know. I just looked upon you, and I saw this Lace Out. I'm thinking, no, this is all right. So then I went into it. It was all cool and all that sort of stuff, and
Hey, Rude Boy.
Yeah. And there was another one called I think it was the Dave Show. I was talking to someone. Just a live feed, Mary. That's right. I was talking to my wife. Sorry. That's all right. Sorry.
Professionalism.
This is professionalism. Yeah.
And then it got me onto this Lace Out. So
a couple of things. Lee Mack has already asked who stole his gimmick from last year. If anyone knows when we did our final review last year, a guy I've known for 40 years who joins us, he's on here tonight, Lee McKenzie, absolute superstar. Jamie loves him from his Formula One side of things. He did his in the total darkness, and he reckons now that Rude Boy has stolen his gimmick. But Rude Boy, I've just got something simple for you, mate, because I know you're just going to love this. You ready?
Yeah, mate. Oh, no, please.
No, can't hear it.
I know you're going to do
nothing.
What?
Kanga, roo. Yes,
he's done it for you.
Yeah, you get the kangaroo. Yeah. Now, by the way, and there's also a lot of the people once again who found us through other variants, iTunes, all those sorts of. More importantly, Donna, where are the girls? Donna Jonovic was actually supposed to be on the show with us tonight, and is asking where all the girls are. We had some female representation, but she piked it. And so I can't do anything about that. Jamie can't do anything about it. Even with his beautiful looks, he couldn't swing us on board. So you've got the pick of the bunch. It's like the Bachelorette for you tonight, Donna. You can just look at it and choose who you want to give a rose to at the end of the night, or a premiership cup. Let's put it that way. All right, J-Dog, where are we kicking this one off? Because there's so much to talk about. It's been a cracker of a year. You're the big boy kicking this one off. Let's just go through it.
Well, we're going with the familiar peps. So we're going to go with Spin the Magnets. We're going to do that one more time with everyone. We're going to do it a group spin. Yeah, a bit of spin the bottle action. Except Pep's, obviously being COVID safe with everything going on with Melbourne. 1,700 today, Peps. You cracked the 1,700.
No.
So we're going to do that. We're going to spin the max. We're going to do the
Not
good.
as many days as Essendon hasn't won a final.
Oh, God damn it.
We're going to do that, and we're going to do the good and the bad. Then we're going to go around the grounds, but we're going to do that a little bit different this year. What we're going to do for this final show is we're going to say, well, what is going to be the headline that everyone will be reading in 2022? So our esteemed panelists have come up with the headline that we're going to read. The audacious, the crazy, the sad, the good, the bad, whatever it is. That's what we're going to be looking for our group come to that section. And then we're going to get in there early. Because what we're going to do is we want them and our group here to talk about who are going to be the 2022 premiers.
Ooh, tough one.
So we're going to put it to this show. We'll go into a time capsule and we'll never dig it up. So don't worry about anything happening with that. All right. So I suppose let's just kick it off to our very first segment on the show. We're going to do the end of year spin the magnets. So Peps, do you want to?
Not
yes,
just
Peps.
yet. Just when you think this show could not get any better,
Rightio.
we have got the magnificent Nick Cowling has also joined us as well too. Doggiest of dog supporters. So we've got Ruboy in the dark, and Nick's gone, I'm even going to top that. I'm not even going to put my camera on. So Nick, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here getting this bloody message saying unable to access the camera. So
That's all right. That's all right. Hey,
I'm
we
just
got the
gonna put it
dulcet
down to
tones.
mystery
We got the
man or
dulcet
something.
tones.
Yeah.
Hey, how did you hear about us, Nick? Let's just before we rock off with the first question of the night. How did you hear about Lace Out?
Yeah. I just did a Spotify search for AFL podcasts because there was nothing really appearing around. Just wanted some sort of roundtable discussion, round by round.
Yep.
And found you guys and have been sticking around. So
you couldn't get that anywhere, and so then you decided to settle on us. So I really appreciate it. J-Dog and I really appreciate that because I know that you're in there every single week throwing a few comments in there, so it's awesome. All right, J-Dog.
Rightio.
Big fat, let's get this one going, my mate. Let us going. So we're going to spin the magnets.
And we're going to go with the good stuff. Yeah,
We're going with the good stuff. Now, just to let you know, gentlemen, just because it's the end of year, it also means that you get the introduction that you're looking for. So, Mr. Demetriou, what have you got for us? 3 votes. Rightio.
No, didn't hear that, but anyway, it doesn't matter.
Is it not? Oh,
It'll be in post, Papes. It'll be in post. That's all fine. It's all fine.
Post. We don't have post.
All right, so I'm going to kick it off with what I'm seeing on the screen here, which I hope is what everyone else is seeing. So I'm going to start with the person to my right. Why don't you kick it off, please? Keeks, go for it.
So I'm an Essendon supporter, so these are all going to be Essendon themed. We didn't get caught up in a drug scandal, so I'm happy with that. And making finals when everyone expected us to be bottom 4, or as Peps said on the chat earlier, bottom 2. I thought at times we were probably going to have to put 2 midgets in the forward line and hide them in a trench coat, and that's what I'd accept. And I think the thing that I'm most happy with is just the fact that everyone's extended. Darcy Parish signed a contract midway through the year, as did Zach Merritt. I think Jake Stringer is going to be hitting the meat pies a little bit too hard, and he'll come back a little bit looking like the biggest loser. But
So are you saying that Jake Stringer is only good for one season, and then that's it for the rest of his contract time?
No, he'll
I'll
still
say
be
that.
good, but it'll
I'll
only
say
be good
that.
in like half season increments. So
Okay.
he'll come back really fat and then drop it off by the bye, and then from like round 14 onwards, he'll be Brownlow favorite sort of thing.
Okay, so then let's just do a quick whip around.
Can I just say something to that, J-Dog, before you
Sure.
interrupt? He is a little bit like Australia Post at the moment. When it comes to the crunch, he just can't deliver at all. Like, he wasn't able to do anything in the finals. He only played half a season of footy, and as soon as he got his contract, it went backwards.
So quick whip around. Who actually had Essendon making the finals at this year? I didn't.
No. Yeah,
Okay.
All right. Even your line, freaking.
No,
Harley, you're full of shit. You didn't even say them coming in. No chance. No chance. You saw them playing finals.
No, you're right. More of a yeah. No, I wouldn't have predicted us to play finals. But I'm very happy that we did. Yeah. Also,
All right.
I do think Alex Rance will take Bombers to the grand final. Thank you very much, Donna.
He's not going to play, is he?
No, he won't. He'll be a defensive coach.
So, when did you give them any chance of winning a final this season? When you made the finals?
Well, given that we beat the Bulldogs like 3 weeks before we played the elimination final, I did. But then, as soon as I found out we were going to be playing it in friggin' Tassie, then I thought we're going to get smashed here, and we did.
Well, yeah, it wasn't a good idea for. It's not a good idea to go down to Altona Gate Shopping Centre at the best of times, but to go there for a roast chicken, Nick Hind, probably not the smartest thing that he's actually done this year. He's been a sensational pickup for you guys.
Oh yeah, 100%. I agree. He's been a real jet. I'm just surprised St Kilda let him go. If I'm being perfectly honest, like
no, he doesn't match St Kilda's age profile of overpaid and washed up.
I mean, have you seen his hairline? He looks like he's 50 and playing Masters after a day on the tools.
I haven't, but I've looked at Jamie's hairline all season, and that's enough to sort of compare it.
All right, let's move it on to the next person here. Let's move this chat along. Let's go, Josh Weymouth.
Look, I've got a few highlights for this year. First, I'll get this one off the bat. That this is the only place I actually come for AFL news throughout the year. I don't go searching online and AFL.com and things like that. I only come to Lace Out Podcast. So thanks for all the knowledge, boys. I appreciate it.
You're desperate.
Well,
we appreciate it.
Look, for my highlights this year, I always, when it comes to football, I like to take pleasure in other people's pain. So
I love him.
So I absolutely loved, as a massive highlight, first of all, Richmond and Collingwood not making the finals. That was bloody fantastic. Yep. Loved it.
Love it. Yep.
Really excited to see them not make the finals, and especially for a couple of friends of ours that are diehard Collingwood supporters. They can get stuffed. That was great. And look, to be honest, and I had a big rant about this in a group chat, but I just love the fact that Essendon supporters got so up and about with the fact that they made finals and they were going to get rid of the curse of the thousands
it's all coming through.
The curse of the thousands of days of not winning a final. The Facebook mafia was up and about. They were so excited, and then to see them just get crushed it was just
very
the best part of my year.
The umpiring cost you.
Yep.
So for everything there, Josh, I'm giving you this.
3 votes.
You get 3 votes.
Yeah. So the pain of other supporters, losing out, especially Collingwood and Essendon, it just made my heart melt. It was great. Loved it.
Very good. Very good. All right, Nicky T, how about you?
Oh, well, I guess the biggest one of all is having our first Brownlow winner finally coming to Port Adelaide.
Yes, wine stars.
Fine wines.
My boy.
Oh, yeah.
You wanted to trade him last year, J-Dog.
Do I have to do this just to prove to you how much he's
you took that out of storage, you bullshit artist.
That's actually courtesy of the guy on the podcast tonight.
Yeah, I will verify that Jamie has been on Ollie Wines since the very beginning, and hunted him down in Geelong one day for that photo.
He did. I did. No, he was sensational this year, Wally Wines.
It was close there at the end, but he just kept playing the last few games and keep building on that one and took it over Bont, which so happy for him.
I like him.
Yeah. Other than that, the other things, I think we had a couple of good pickups this year, as we were talking about Alia and Orazio. They made our team competitive and I'm so happy with that too.
Yeah, 2 times. Massive fan of 2 times. I reckon he is an absolute. And anyone who can rock that mohawk and do it as well as he does, like he looks actually kind of sexy with it. Let's be honest, boys. If you don't
rock it. I can't even freaking grow one.
Well, you've got no chance.
I mean,
the side mohawk, the side part.
The thing is, Jamie, he actually shaves his head to get that look. You don't have to.
I just tell
but no, he was, and he fully deserved his All-Australian Guernsey this year as well too. Definitely, so it's a really good pickup.
One of the best intercept markers in the competition. Absolutely love him.
Anything else, Nick?
Maybe just some highlights, like for example, Robbie Gray after the siren. How many times now?
Okay. So we're going to go down. We're going to end the port theme for you. It's obviously very
obvious.
much script.
If you want to go away from Port Adelaide, I'm going to have to say I actually am proud and happy for Melbourne winning the premiership.
Oh, there you go.
I mean, yeah, he's got it out already. I probably since halfway through the year when they're just constantly winning, there was a concern there that they could be undefeated all the way through, and I was like, good on them for that, and proud of them. So it's definitely a highlight.
Nick, I appreciate the kind words what you said about Melbourne going undefeated, but every Melbourne supporter, and I know there's one online tonight, Jolly Michael, and another one, Tori Williams, both know there was no chance of us going undefeated because as soon as we played a team in the bottom half of the 8. We were cooked. We don't know how to play against shit teams.
Yeah, who was the first loss to? Was it the
Adelaide?
Yeah.
Adelaide. 1 point. It was deliberate too, by the way, but we're not.
I agree.
All right, Jazz. Let's go with what were your highlights for the season?
Absolutely nothing because North Melbourne's been shit this year. I'm serious. It's probably the worst season I've ever seen them play. I've never seen a wooden spoon in my life.
Oh, I have. I've seen plenty of them. I'll give you plenty of tips how to, cope with them.
I've never seen a spoon. This is my first spoon ever. Mm-hmm. But probably my highlight is probably Melbourne winning the grand final because of Ben Brown. You know how Ben Brown wanted to leave and go to Melbourne. I don't know what happened with money situations. And he's happy, and that's about it, really.
So basically, it took a North Melbourne supporter to make Melbourne. North Melbourne player to make Melbourne win.
Yes,
pretty much.
Yeah, take that. Take that as a win.
I'd take that. Take that as a win. Listen. Yeah. Can I just say, from a non-North supporter, obviously, and J-Dog and I spoke about this throughout the year.
Yep.
You're probably after round 7 or 8. Your back end of the season.
Yeah, it was great. I know. Second half of the season was great.
You were better than Hawthorn, and you were better than Collingwood in my eyes.
And then we got demolished by Adelaide in the last round.
Yeah, but that's Adelaide. Don't worry about it. They're inbred over there. All I'm saying is that I don't think the result that you had on the bottom was there's bottom of the ladder teams, and trust me, I know a bottom of the ladder team.
That there's been bad teams and they've been real bad.
Yeah, yours. I don't think you're. You know what? You're going to get the first pick. You're going to pick up an absolute superstar.
Coleman Jones, I reckon, will get it. I don't even know. So.
No, you're going to pick up an absolute superstar, and you're also going to be picking up Coleman Jones.
And Horn.
Yeah, exactly. Where would you rather go? Would you rather go to North, or would you rather go to Collingwood?
Not Collingwood, because
would you rather go to Carlton?
I don't know about Carlton.
You're not going to get any money because it's all been paid up to
true,
and everybody too. So
get your money up front at Carlton.
Get your money up front. I want a forward-ended contract. Don't go to Collingwood because as soon as they rip you off in the back end, they'll boot you off Trelaw style.
Yeah,
all right.
Now we've got Nicky C is with us as well. Nicky C, Doggies, what was your highlight of the season?
Highlight of the season, and
last game of the year.
Sorry for all the North supporters here, but when Josh Bruce kicked his bag and put all the critics to silence for a bit, which was good. Just the atmosphere in the two, and also it was my first AFL game in something like 16 months.
Oh,
which was
so
amazing! Yeah,
so it happened. It happened.
Right in front of me.
Right in front of me. Oh, that's awesome.
Now
I reckon he was the difference for you As soon as he went down in the finals, and I don't know if that's going to lead to who you're getting dragged, but that was the negative. Your season went out the window as soon as he went down.
Throughout the balance, agree completely.
Completely.
Like,
Put too much pressure on Norton, and I just don't think he can cope with it, and proved it in the grand final.
No, agreed, unfortunately. Also having Ugelhagen out, this too. That was good.
Yep.
I enjoyed that. Not going to talk much more about that. What else? Lowlights. Anything from when Caleb Daniel tackled Max Gorn in the grand final? Anything beyond that is just not up for discussion. On my end, but
Oh no, it can be up for discussion. Trust me, it will come up. It will come up in the next half an hour or 45 minutes quite easily. Don't worry about that.
I don't know if you guys heard me talk about the Rocky IV analogy between the two teams for the grand final preview. That there, I mean, now I've completely flipped my script, but that there was the moment when sort of Rocky like nicked the Russian under the eye, and then he started dominating. That was like the jab under the eye that got Melbourne fired up because they went and kicked 156 goals after that. So that was that moment. So yeah, as a Western Bulldogs supporter, I can see how that's probably the last good memory you had of the grand final.
Yep. Look, I'm not going to lie. J-Dog, I know you'll get into your highlight, but because you're the MC, I'm going to go next. Look, there's only one highlight that I got, and that was kicking. That was actually seeing Max Gawn kick 5 goals in a prelim against Geelong, and just beat Dad's Army. It was fantastic, and it's good to see, Josh, that Geelong are going with their recruiting policy for next year, and they've put in a call to Alan Jakovic. Keith Gregg apparently has also been called.
Looking forward to it, actually.
Looking forward to it. Ross Glendenning, low 4th round draft pick. Apparently they're going for him. But I think that was my highlight, just watching the big fella just turn a prelim on its head, and then obviously we know what happened in the grand final. But yeah.
Well, I'm not going to share mine because I'm all about the guest, Pep, so you can jump in with the guest. All right, we're going to go fast here. We're going to pick up the speed now. Tell me, what was your low light of the year?
Whoa.
Haley off Ellingworth.
The boys don't get the intro. Of course they get the intro.
All right, Keegs, tell me, what was your low light of the year?
So I messaged you about this earlier because I thought it would be a little bit contentious. But the news that Anthony McDonald-Tipungwuti was racially vilified after the elimination final loss to the Western Bulldogs.
Yep.
That's not on, in my opinion. And I'm glad the Bombers got around Anthony McDonald-Tipungwuti because he loves playing footy and he has hair like the Predator.
Peps, what do you want to say to those nuffies out there who keep doing this?
You're freaking pathetic. I think, there's just things that are going to happen every season. I'm going to bag Jamie about his hairline. He's going to pick on Melbourne being... Yep, he's going to pick on Melbourne for being crap. And there's going to be some dickhead out there that racially vilifies a player. And that just goes to show the make of that. There's no place for it. It's just pathetic. And, I just think these people should be literally named, drawn and quartered, and have to go out and say why they did it. Because
exactly.
There is no place in society for that. We know anybody, you probably know somebody who's been racially vilified, picked on, bullied, whatever. That's just pathetic. And I don't care, I'm at the footy. That's no excuse.
Yep.
No excuse whatsoever. I don't have any tolerance for it whatsoever.
Yep.
And Jamie knows that because I get fired up about it. So, yeah.
Completely agree.
But
mine actually goes with that
but there is one thing that we do like to see, and that's this. Love a bit of Anthony McDonald-Tipungwuti. And for him to... And I know he had some weeks off leading into that final as well, too, for whatever reason, which I'm not aware of, so I'm not going to comment. But, no, that's pathetic. There's no place for it at all.
Yep.
All right, so before I go to the next guest here, I'm going to say Nicky T from the Porches podcast, your co-host has come on and has called you a traitor.
I know. They pay better.
All right, let's go, Waymo.
Definitely the low light for me as a Geelong supporter was going off Peps's one there is just watching Big Maxi destroy us in the prelim. It was shattering. But to be honest, look, I wasn't too upset because they deserved it. They just absolutely trounced us.
Yeah.
But absolutely a low light this year was watching that and just having to suck it up and copple the shit on in group chats and things like that. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
And then another round of the Scotty Doesn't Know song goes around again for another week after.
Yeah, just replay on after every year. That's fine.
Yeah, and the another release of Where's Gary? That book that gets released usually after every final series.
Yeah, look, just don't play him in a final. Like keep him for the regular season, and that's fine. But just get someone else in there for a final.
There's another page on Facebook, and I love this. They give the Leon Davis Medal for grand final performances, and I think Cody Wakeman and Aaron Norton got it this year. But I think he got an honorary life membership, Gary Rowan, for his performance in that. When you know that when a Perth crowd is giving you the Bronx cheer for your first possession, you know you're in trouble.
Look, it's all fair and it's all good feedback. I'm sure he's taking it on the chin and working hard towards that, but probably not. He's
absolutely no
muppet.
Chance. You know, he's a muppet.
All right, Nicky T, tell us about your low light of the year.
I've actually got a couple, and they are actually very similar to the previous two conversations. One is the racial vilification from Tex Walker.
Mm-hmm.
How he actually, we all know what happened with that. How during a game that he was not actually playing in, it was at a sample game, but it was actually an old Port Adelaide player for the Magpies and who'd gone on to another team.
Yeah.
So there's that. That is just not on, as you were saying, Peps, and definitely a low light in the competition. And he should know better considering who he's been playing with previously.
Was that the thing that stunned? And I'm throwing this out to everybody. Was that the thing that stunned you the most? Is the fact that he's played with Eddie Betts, who has copped it. He's had bananas thrown on him, everything left, right, and center. And then for him to come out and do that, it was just, and being captain,
mind-boggling.
Yeah, like beyond the pale.
It was beyond disappointing. It was just,
yeah. And it was. Yeah, I think we got some of us got rumor of what the actual words were saying. They were pretty harsh and disgusting. So I'm not going to repeat them here. So don't worry.
No, don't. Don't. We are better than that.
Yes. Yeah. And the other one is, of course, also a prelim loss as well to the Dogs. It was they just outplayed us and. Horrible game.
I was about to ask. Jamie's already given me his opinion, and I just want to quickly throw it to you. 25 words or less. So we're going competition rules. Mm-hmm. What went wrong that night?
They outpositioned Aaliyah quite easily. He was just unable to get into the contest, and they beat us around the middle so easily. The ball bounced into their hands every single time.
I get that, Nick, but that's one player. There's still another 17 on the park. Literally. Did you guys turn up thinking that you were going to be playing the D's next week in Perth?
I have a feeling they were a little overconfident. You're probably right.
Is that Hinkley's fault or the player's fault? Because I have my opinion on this, and it's definitely not option A.
No, I don't think it's Hinkley's fault either. I think it is the players. They get in their mind, this is going to be an easy game perhaps, and we'll just waltz in through to the finals. I kind of agree.
Well, let's be honest. If it was the Doggies or Port, the result would have still been the same.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I'm that last half, or that last half you guys had was phenomenal.
Yeah, we might do a group watch. We'll sit back and we'll watch it together if you like.
I
could just describe it. I could just describe it to you.
You have multiple times.
All right. Ruboy, what about you, my friend? What was your low light for the season?
The low light was, of course, North Melbourne didn't win enough games. And also, the racism and all that type of stuff that shouldn't be, a part of the AFL. And and another low light is that Robbie Tarrant's going to leave and go to Richmond. I'm a bit pissed off about that, but
pissed off why? Because of the fact that he's doing a run.
No, because he was injured the whole year because he's had cancer, and he's gone through all battles with cancer and all that type of stuff. Then all of a sudden, oh yeah, shit, I might as well go to Richmond now. We gave heart and soul to that bloke, and all of a sudden he wants to leave. And it's a bit, paid all his money for this bloke and he doesn't even care.
How old is he? Do you know how old he is roughly?
32 or 33.
33.
Yeah, a couple of years ago. So he went to Richmond.
What do you get back? What
are we getting back
for him? When you're a team that's down the bottom, you want to try and retain these guys, but what did you get for him from compensation wise?
I got no idea what we got yet at the moment. Yeah.
It kind of sucks.
Yeah, I don't know.
But I'll let you know, every club that's been down the bottom cops this, mate. It cops this. And you just need a group of players. But the thing is, I think you've got a coach there in David Noble.
Yeah,
he is definitely, if there is a guy to bind this group together, I reckon you've got a good one there.
Yeah,
most
true.
Definitely. So, you know what? If he doesn't want to be part of it, so be it, bugger off. For the ones who want to stay here, and they're the ones who want to create what happens in their future.
Yeah.
So, when you got Ben Cunnington running around for your mob.
Yeah, did you see everybody was crying and stuff? Because he's gone through a lot of,
That's your heart and soul right there. That's your heart and soul.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
Sorry.
Nick, that's all right. Nick Cowling, what have you got for us for your low light of the year?
Piggyback. I know I gave you guys one earlier, which was around Collingwood's bloody internal strife, which became very public. I mean,
that's brilliant. That's my highlight.
That's my highlight, actually. That was my highlight.
Definitely, but it's sort of just sad seeing a club sort of tear itself apart like that. I suppose that's sort of the angle I'm coming at it from. I see, you're shaking your head on that.
No, it's not really. It's Collingwood. It's Collingwood. Let's be honest. If it was a lower end club, fair enough. But when you've been peacocking for so many years and something like that happens, and literally it's come down to egos, you reap what you sow. Yeah.
Also, Lin Jong doing his hamstring as well. I mean, speaking of heart and soul, just seeing him do that and the look on his face, like he just knew. And then announcing his retirement, a couple of weeks later as well.
Yeah.
It's just hard to take, He's copped a lot.
The thing with Ling Jong is he did one of the best ever rope-a-dopes, per se, when he played that VFL grand final, but taped up the good shoulder.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
That was one of the greatest things I've ever heard. So, he should be proud of what he's been able to achieve. I know he probably would have gone out and he would have loved to have played more games in the ones. But he's got something that a lot of us don't have, and that's a flag. Regardless of what level, he has been part of a premiership team.
Yeah,
and no one can take that away from him.
Yeah, absolutely.
Rightio. Let's move on to the next segment, which is Around the Grounds.
Around the Grounds.
AKA,
all right, J-Dog.
AKA, what's the headline? We don't have a sting for that, do we, Peps? Don't make it up on the spot because you'll press the wrong button.
Hold on. No, I have got one. Around the Grounds relating to Trade Week reminds me a little bit of this. Because literally it is a shit show. It is alarm. The amount of things, the amount of shit that they throw up, and hopefully something is going to stick to the wall, is exactly what happens during trade time. The first, trade week goes for 10 days. I think for the first 9.5, nothing happens. So it is a bit of Benny Hill, what I reckon, when it comes to this too. But
all right, let's go for it. So I'm going to go the reverse order this time. So Nick Cowling, what is the headline that we will be reading in 2022?
That the G will be hosting the grand final again, but there'll be another outbreak and no one will be able to go.
Oh, jeez, man, don't go ruining it for us. We were all excited.
So does that mean they're going to have to move? They're going to have to move Mike from playing up there, Kazali, from the MCG to Suncorp Stadium or something like that because he really likes that no feedback atmosphere.
He'll do it from his backyard.
Okay,
and he'll just zoom it in.
Can we just get rid of that song from the grand final? Can we just put an end to it?
Which one's that?
Up there, Kazali, just get rid of it.
Oh,
it's been done.
I like it.
I like it. Jamie doesn't like One Day in September.
I don't like a lot of the stuff like that, but
get rid of it.
I can appreciate he's that's the song of September, isn't it?
It's either that or the Dodo internet that flies. So which Mike Brady song do you want for grand final week? That's what it comes down to. Rude Boy keeps jumping in and out, so I was going to throw to him next. Nick.
Yeah, I reckon my predicted headline for next year is Toby Green reaches his 30th fine. He's just, I don't know.
How many is he up to at the moment, Nick?
22 or something.
Oh,
so,
good on you, big fella.
he's a disgrace in the competition. I don't know why he's still playing. I mean, if any like local competitions you had a player like that, they would be banned straight out. So I don't know.
The way I see it is, thank God for people like Toby Green, because without Toby Green, there might not be an AFL even around anymore. He has self-funded the whole league now for 2 seasons.
I can tell you now, he's given us enough content over the last 4 years. We could have a secondary show called Tobed Out if we wanted to, because of what he produces. I love Toby Green. I love the passion around him. And I'm going to say there is a Toby tax. Yeah, there is a Toby tax. And it's the way that he got done for that one that he copped, and I think it was the Dangerfield Act. Exactly the same act, and he gets 2, the other one gets none. It's absolute crap. Mind you, though,
really no consistency. Yeah.
Mind you, though, the umpiring one, dodgy as, and this week they're going to have the appeal about what goes on because the AFL are appealing that result.
Right.
So we'll find out later this week what's going to happen.
Quick question. Does anyone actually have any friends at Barrack for GWS?
I do.
You do?
Yes.
Yeah, but I live in Sydney.
There is one.
Can you do me a favour, though? I'm going to need him for next year's season preview because I could not find anybody from GWS except for Rent a Crowd. I'm telling you now, I couldn't find anybody.
All you got to do is head out to a Centrelink near Blacktown and you'll find a GWS supporter.
Nick T, Nick C, Jazz, do we know, Waymo, do you know any GWS supporters?
Yeah, I do.
Nah.
Not a one.
Okay. It's weird. It's weird that they have people at the game, but I don't know who supports them.
They don't have free tickets.
Yeah.
They get free tickets, an outfit, pie,
Centrelink ticket,
falafel burger. It's all they get everything when they turn up to a GWS game.
It's one of those weird things I just don't know. Other than the grand final when half are going for GWS against Richmond because they want Richmond to win their.
Yeah, but let's be honest. Tell me you weren't getting excited by there's a big town.
Oh, it's hard not to get swept up by that.
That is a great song.
The Cat Empire absolutely nailed the GWS.
They nailed that. They actually did.
Great.
Yep, exactly.
Hello.
All right, Waymo.
I've got 2 for you that I wrote down. That Geelong is going on a recruiting path, and they're going to be bringing back Gary Ablett, James Bartel, and Paul Chapman. Just for one more, just for one more go around.
Good to see they're going for youth.
Absolutely. So, but no. On a serious note, I think the one that we will see is that Joel Selwood will retire at the end of next year.
That's it.
I think. You saw in the finals that his role of what he was a gear behind everybody else.
100%. And
so I don't know where can you play him though? That's the thing. You can't put him in the midfield. Where do you play him? Well,
you probably could put him in the midfield for spurts, but not for a long period.
Anywhere near an umpire to collect a free.
Hello.
Come on now.
Was that you, Nick? Cheap seats.
Yep.
Work.
No, look, I think can't take anything away from his career. He's been an absolute stalwart of the club and absolute champion. And
oh wow, Jono has come out.
Love it.
Well,
can I just give that a...
Put your head over the ball. That's what happens, I guess.
I can't do anything with that comment.
Everyone wants to give old Joel a bit of a whack about ducking and things like that. But if you actually watch it, he just lifts his shoulders up a bit, and he's just a strong unit. So Good luck to him. But I think his time's probably done, and end of next year we'll see that as a headline.
Guaranteed Hall of Famer.
Absolutely.
Guaranteed.
Can I chuck one on there for you, Waymo?
Go for it.
Could we see a Selwood and Hawkins double retirement in one season?
I don't think so. I think Hawkins has probably got a bit more in the tank. He didn't play as much early on in his career, as to what Selwood did. So he's probably still got few more miles in the legs. And yeah, as the big full forward, probably doesn't need to do as much around the ground as what a midfielder would. And
he's still beautiful.
Oh, absolutely.
Can I just also throw one thing? I just saw this. My mum's joined the stream tonight. So, Mum, it only took you 4 years. Love ya.
Oh, very good. All right.
Oh, I got the Roo Boy. The Roo Boy's there.
Yeah,
Roo Boy's joined back.
Yeah,
Roo Boy, what's your prediction for season 2022? Getting a light?
Nah, maybe North Melbourne will win a few more games, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe about
How many?
Probably 6 to 8, maybe.
Who excites you on their list, Roo Boy? Like if there was one person that gets the fluids flowing in your body when you see them get near the ball, who is it?
Probably Jaden Stevenson. He's one of the probably highly skilled guys. I know he's a bit, clumsy at times, but I think he's got a bit of potential about him. So,
is that on or off the field, especially when bikes are involved?
Oh, what? Without the drink in his hand?
Didn't he break his hip?
Over or something?
Yes.
Pardon?
He was trying to do something on his bike, and
yeah, and he flipped, and he fell over, and he flipped over.
Yeah, broken hip.
But yeah, I reckon they might win a few more games, and maybe. Sorry, Peps, but I reckon your team will go back to back.
Back to back? You say back to back?
Yeah.
Boy. I'm already.
That's serious.
No. Hold on.
Wait. I said your team would win from, not to myself, I said halfway through the season, Melbourne win the flag.
He did say that, I'm not going to lie.
And also Bailey Pritch, to kick all those goals. I would have won that bet on that. He kicked the most goals, 6 goals.
Did you have a bet on that too, did you?
No, I would have won money. And I won 35 and over for the grand final. I would have won that too.
How's his bloke? Yeah, he knows his football, Roo Boy.
And my wife got the first goal, Petrarca.
Oh, well, Roo Boy, you've got everything going for you, mate. You are an absolute star. Just pay the power bill next time so we can actually see your face. But outside of that, you know what's going on, mate. He's a passionate North supporter. Let's be honest.
Yeah,
when your team is down,
who cares?
We're here for you, brother. We're here for you. Lace out.
Yeah,
that's how we're here. It's how you want your footy.
What's yours?
My season prediction.
Your season prediction. 2022.
Football's back for the fans.
Full I think in capacity? Melbourne. What does that mean? What does that mean?
Nah, the footy's back for the fans. Like we're going to be able to go to games regularly. I think we're all going to do our shots. We're all going to get our vaxes. Hopefully, regardless of all this, for the reasons, if you do or you don't, that's okay. That's people's choice. But the fact that we're going to go to the footy. We're going to be able to go to the footy. We're going to be able to do what people in Adelaide and Perth and Brisbane have been able to do all this year. And finally, have a grand final. And you know what? The other thing is going to be able to see.
Will go to games?
Oh, well, that's their choice.
I'm saying, do you reckon the anti-vaxxers will be allowed to get into the games?
I don't know how you're going to prove it, but
but don't you have to have the card?
Yeah.
You can put it in your wallet on your phone.
Yeah, if you've got, but they're not going to check. I can't see them checking 50,000 of those at every Melbourne game.
So why are they going to be sick? These people.
That's their choice. It's like if you want to wear a seatbelt in the car or you don't want to wear a seatbelt in the car.
True,
that's up to you. It's your choice. But I just think footy's going to be back at the G. Crowd's going to be back at the G. And that's all we want, really, isn't it? That's a prediction. And I'd love for Melbourne to make finals 2 years in a row. That would be the other one. Yeah, awesome. Hey, all right. So, J-Dog, we've gone through what's your prediction for next year, by the way?
Couple of things for me. One, they're going to award the Mark of the Year with a car again. They're going to bring back that.
Oh, yes. Toyota Camry.
I think also for 2022, I believe that we are going to see I I reckon we're going to see...
Dynasty.
No, not a dynasty. We're going to see another... What's it called? Afternoon grand final. Not the 2 o'clock slot. What's it called? The twilight slot.
Twilight? Yeah.
We're going to see another twilight slot.
Boys, did you like the Twilight this year? No? Who said no?
No, I'm all about the afternoon game.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I rate the afternoon game. I think that's the right call.
It's kind of weird. I do rate the afternoon game, but then I look at every other main game that we play throughout the year outside of Anzac Day is a night game.
That's true.
It's where all the money is.
But what I'd also say, though, on top of that, though, you would get probably a better quality game during the afternoon because you're not going to get the due aspect kicking in.
Yeah, no,
That's the
no.
other thing as well, too. So,
all right.
look, you're only going to pick that up after 377 games and no premiership experience here, Jamie. Alrighty, so we've gone through the highs, we've gone through the lows. There's
Final
one
straight now.
question that remains. We're in the final straight. We've passed the clock tower. We're heading home, boys. And it comes down to this. Premier for 2022.
All right, let's go with Jazz.
Melbourne again.
Melbourne?
Yep.
All right, and
And
can you give us a margin? Give us a margin.
And why? But why? I think that's the important thing
It's
too.
the way
But why?
Your midfield, your back line, Lever and May, they're just unstoppable. The only downfall you have is probably your forward line, like
And the
if it didn't
supporters,
function.
they're terrible.
Nah, and I reckon Ben Brown will get the Coleman as well.
Ooh, that's
That's another
interesting.
thing.
Oh, that's an interesting
Because he
one,
missed
little
out
boy.
years ago.
I like it.
So,
I know he was stiff, wasn't he? That last game of the year when
yeah, I know, he played shit. And then bloody Cameron rolled him in the last game. So
bastard. And then he went to Geelong.
no, he played for North.
mercenary.
If he played for North, then he's gone to Melbourne. So yeah.
Yeah. I like it, Rue boy. I like it.
Nicky
Nick
Cowling?
C. Nicky C,
Yeah.
what do you got?
Staying with the home team, going to the Dogs. I reckon that this loss will put a fire up under our ass and we'll come out with the gates, get through right to the end.
Undefeated.
Wouldn't say undefeated. I mean, it's the Dogs, it's flip a coin. But,
By how much then?
oh, jeez.
Geez, J-Dog, they've got to get there first. You're already
Yeah,
talking
man.
We're
margins.
talking futures for 2022, Peps. I mean, the realms are already out there.
All
I know
right.
you're writing these down for your multi.
All right. 15 points.
15
Okay, so whoever they
points.
win, they're going to win by
15.
15 points.
15, yeah.
All right, who would be their competitor, do you think?
Oh, screw it. We'll do a replay of 2021, hey? Melbourne.
I'd be happy with a replay of 2021.
Without-
Exact
with-
replay.
Without the same outcome, though.
Okay. Hey, Nick, let's be honest. If you watch that game, and I think we've all watched it, some once, some 8 times, that was actually a really good game up until three-quarter time.
Yeah, it was shocking. And, man, power to you. It was great to see Melbourne get up. I just wish it wasn't against us.
And look, I agree, but what I'm trying to highlight to everybody who's listening to this now is that don't let the margin. There was that many ebbs and flows in that game. It was just one team broke, and I think maybe all the travel that you had, whatever reasons, etc., just caught up with you at the end.
I'm with you, Peps. Do not let grand final margins get in the way of anything in your life. Don't let it hamper anything. Don't talk about it. They don't matter.
But if you're on the winning side, Jamie.
Sorry, Wayne, what were you saying?
I was just going to ask. Do you actually remember how many points Port Adelaide lost by?
119, wasn't it?
Was 100 and what?
Yeah, I think it was 19 points. I think you got it right there, Keegs. 19
117?
points. Was it 19? 19 points.
19. There's the one before the other one.
No, I thought it was just 3 goals and 1 point. I didn't know much more about that.
All right, Nicky T, what's your who's your premier for next year? And this is a loaded question here. I reckon.
Yeah, I'm going to pick Paul. I mean, we've been prelim bomb outs in the last 2 years running, so we got to make it to the final game, and I hope we're going to take it out this time.
What is going to be the difference, though? Because obviously you've got to get better. Who is going to get you better to take you to that next level? Because that's what's going to happen.
What you're going to get us better Peps?
No, not me, not me.
J Dog.
Yeah, J.
Yeah. I was wondering why he's putting to himself. I reckon we've got to get our forward line's got to work better. There's just so much kicking to our just to the advantage of Charlie and hoping he can do something with it. It doesn't work. We've got a great midfield. There's no question about that. And Ollie and Boak and all that. It's just what can get better? Maybe let's see what happens in the trade period. I guess see what we can get.
Exactly right. Trade radio every day.
Trade radio. Wait. Yeah, that's a good recommendation. Yep. All right. So, Nick T, who would be our competitor, and what would be the margin?
I would love to say Geelong by 120 points.
All right, there's a new rule in this tipping, all right? Outside of your own team, who do you think would win?
Okay.
That's what I'm going to say. Outside of your own team.
Sorry.
Okay, I was going to say, I reckon Melbourne will probably make it again.
Yep.
For some reason, I think Eagles, maybe. I don't know. I've just got a weird feeling Eagles.
I'm going to throw this one to Nick C, because outside of the Western Bulldogs, because obviously that's your team, who would you go with?
Jeez, probably the D's.
I wanted to take
D's or Port, I'd say. 100%, one of those two.
I reckon we might have to swap screens here, Peps. I reckon your head's just getting bigger.
Mate, the lid's on. The lid's on.
Rightio. Waymo, let's go with you.
Look, obviously, as a Cats fan, you'd hope that they would be up and about to get there, but they don't have it in them. They'll probably get to a prelim and choke again. Bunch of chokers and self-imploders, but hey, they're my team. But look, to be honest, they won't make it, so I shouldn't even talk about them. But it's hard to look. Sorry, Jamie, but I have to say it. It's going to be hard to get past Melbourne next year. I think. I didn't. To be honest, I didn't watch heaps of footy this year. But the two games that really stood out to me was the last round of the season when Geelong down at Geelong, and Geelong had a really good lead, and they looked like they were just going to thump the living suitcases out of Melbourne. And then they came back, and the ending to that game was ominous. And then they have just gone and absolutely rattled the whole final series and destroyed everyone in their path.
Mm-hmm.
You don't lose that hunger.
Yeah.
Now they've got the flag. They're gonna want to go again and have that feeling again. So, yeah, I find it hard to go past Melbourne again for next year.
And how much would they win by if they get there?
I don't think it would be a blowout like this year. I think people will be a little bit more ready for them.
60 points.
But I think it'd be a much closer game, I would imagine. Under 20.
Under 20.
Goals.
Okay.
20.
Goals.
All right. Keegs, how about you, mate?
I don't think Melbourne's going to win. Sorry, Peps.
That's all right.
I think they're going to chase that dragon a little too much and overcommit and lose to Essendon, obviously. No, I'm kidding.
I'll cut that part out. So outside of Essendon, because we know you're a massive Essendon man.
Yeah.
You just want to win a final. That's all you want to do. That is a premiership for you guys. Can you imagine the memorabilia that will come out once you win that final?
It will be. I think I'll have to paint my house red and black. So sorry to my neighbours. But the people who I actually think are going to win the flag are the Brisbane Lions. Harris Andrews was carrying an injury for a large chunk of this year, and I still think he's one of the best key defenders in the competition. And so I think they can definitely push up the ladder a little bit. Yep. They just need to get it right at the right point in time. And I think the last few years have been a learning experience for them.
Okay.
They'll get Cam Rayner back next year too, so he'll be a big addition to their forward line.
And Hipwood as well too. Hipwood was exactly the same as what happened to Norton. Hipwood took a little bit of the pressure off Danaher. When it all went on to Danaher, it went all on to Norton. When it happened to Bruce, it just was too much. It was just way too much for them to be able to carry. So I hope so, because I like the way Brisbane play. I think they're I just think that They just got beaten by better teams this year. But you know what? They were an umpteenth and a bad umpiring decision away from the Dogs actually taking the next week. So it just goes to show, even though the sliding doors with good old Gwyneth Paltrow does happen in the AFL. Like, if you think about it, that game that you mentioned, Josh, about the D's and the Cats, that game, if that had gone the other way, Melbourne would have been outside top 4.
Yep.
And you would have been in top 4, and it could have just made a completely different result to the AFL finals. Okay. J-Dog, my prediction. All right. Yes. Like I said, my lid to a degree will be back on. But I think Melbourne are a massive chance. The team that I reckon if they get their bells and whistles all lined up nicely, I can't believe I'm actually going to say this. I think Essendon
will miss the finals again.
Will miss the finals again. No, they'll make finals. They will make finals. And I think they'll actually win a final. It doesn't have to be about the Premier. I just think that you will win a final. But I do think that the biggest slider, I think and I think Richmond will jump back in as well. And I think, I know it's kind of weird at the moment because after what we saw and the way that we finished off the year, when I say Melbourne, it's like, well, who's going to get close? Because it was a bit of a gap. Let's be honest.
Yep.
But you only need to be. We didn't have many injuries throughout the year, so we had the perfect season, the perfect finish to the season. Give us a couple of injuries, and the situation could be a little bit different. So you need to have your list fit, and I think a good riser this year will be Adelaide. And I can't believe I'm saying this, but I think Adelaide will rise a little bit. Having Darren Burgess back at that club made a massive difference to Melbourne, and he'll be a big influence for them this year as well too.
So premiership, you're saying Adelaide premiership?
No, I just think that they're going to rise up the ladder. I don't think they're going to be down the bottom like they were for quite a bit this year.
So who's your premier for 2022, Peps?
2022, besides Melbourne, I would probably go with. I'm gonna go with Essendon.
Okay.
Don't ask me why. Don't ask me why.
Come on.
I'm only going by who do I think is going to have the most meteoric rise. I think it's Essendon.
Okay. All right. Fair enough.
Because they're a destination club.
Would it be great? Would it be even better if they were top 4 and then went out in straight sets?
Do a Sam Stosur. Sam Stosur all in.
I'm gonna.
I think that would be amazing.
That would be amazing.
One by 1 point and one in overtime.
I like it.
What about yours, J-Dog?
I'm going to go for Woodville West Torrens to win another Sandford premiership. Yep. Because Peps, when Melbourne win, Jimmy Toumpas wins, and that's the good. That's the.
Jimmy Toumpas playing the flag on the weekend.
He did.
Oh, JT, good on him. Still remember the day he cost Melbourne against St Kilda.
Well, I'm just saying, everyone wins when Melbourne wins. Everyone's a winner, Peps. Even your former players. And Jack Watts is obviously swimming somewhere.
Swinging.
Yep. The pick 31 for Bailey Fritsch was the pick that Port gave for Jack Watts.
Yeah. Okay, rightio.
Richie, the Fritsch magnet.
Rightio. We don't have to remind of that every time when Peps has a conversation with me.
Love the Fritsch magnet. All right.
All right, that's it, boys. So in terms of all that, that's the end of the show. So, Peps, do you want anything to say to our
mate? Can I just say? So first and foremost, to the 6 of you that joined us tonight, thank you very, very much because we wanted to do this for a while. We wanted to get the people on who are part of our community just to be part of this, and it's really nice to see the faces, but also the voices as well too. In Rude Boy's case, we can sort of see your outline, okay? But besides that, and Nick can't get his camera working, but it's just nice to get, we do this because we love our footy and that there's people who listen to us every week. That means everything to us, all right? So thank you, gentlemen, and everybody who's listening to this right now who's part of our Lace Out community. We love each and every single one of you, and I can't stress that enough. I have to shout a special shout out to the J-Dog because he has to put up with me every single week. The guy is an absolute legend. The amount of work that he puts in behind the scenes to get us up and running and like my dad, like my mum says, Chris, it's really good that Jamie's on the podcast because he's the level head out of you two. I couldn't do this show without him, and he's a massive part of my life, and he's an absolute legend of a bloke as well too. So I know it's our 4th year, and I can't say we went to 2 episodes a week this year, and he was there for each and every single one of them. So mate, you are an absolute superstar.
I got you, Pips. Love you, mate.
Love doing it. That's it. It's kind of I don't look forward to this episode, I must admit.
No,
because we finish up the season, but it has to happen. J-Dog, is there anything that you want to sort of finish off with before we?
No.
Put this big boy
once
to bed?
again, Peps, huge thank you to the show. Thank you to our listeners for being part of it this year. Once again, it's gone from strength to strength to strength, and I know we have a small community, but we started this show with probably like around 30 listeners a week. So
$5 and a sun hat. That was literally what we were getting.
To where it is now, just a huge thank to you all. Jumping on, getting involved with listener questions, getting involved in the 2 shows a week. We know it's a huge effort to get even listen to podcasts in a sea that is full of them. So thank you for choosing us to be your just have a good time with us every week.
Yeah, that's it. We just want to be a point of difference. There's no we don't take ourselves seriously. The only thing we take seriously is you guys and everybody who joins in. That's what we take seriously. So we love it.
Yeah. So Peps, I'm not going to say the tagline this season. I want you to do your thing, and then I want the rest of the other people in our thing to say the final catchphrase.
Alrighty, here we go. Nicky T, Nicky C, the Roo Boy, Joshy Weymouth, and Charlie Keegs with the big fella, Jamie the J-Dog Wallace, and the Lace Out community for the last time in 2021. How do you want your footy, everybody? Thank you for a brilliant 2021, and we look forward to seeing you in 2022. We will be back, and we will be bigger. Enjoy the off season and go D's.
See you, listeners.
Take care, listeners.
See ya.